Hey everyone, today we are going to discuss part 3 of seminar 9 for University of Debrecen and the Biostatistics subject. So here in this example 3, a diagnostic test for detection of cocaine in urine is evaluated. The table below summarizes the result of the investigation. Then we have here the cocaine in the sample, whether it is present in the sample or it is absent, okay? Present or absent, and then we have the laboratory finding, whether it is based on the lab test, whether it is positive or negative, positive for cocaine or negative for cocaine. Let us get different color. Sorry. So here this is present or absent, and here positive and not positive. The first question, identify which cells in the table correspond to true positive. True positive means it shows positive in the lab test and actually it present, okay? So positive for cocaine and present, so this is the true positive, okay? Let me erase this one, okay? So this one true positive, and negative true negative, it will be negative for both. So negative cocaine and absent, okay? Everything is negative sign, okay? So negative and absent, it will be the intersection of this two, okay, which is this value. So positive, true positive, positive, and the present. Negative will be negative and absent. So we are going to check the extreme sides. So this is true negative. That's it. So here this is negative. So this one, because this line is negative, so everything in this line should be negative because this is negative. This positive, everything here should be positive. Okay. So here, since this is the negative line, so it will be here negative. This positive, it will be positive. I have already taken the true positive, so this will be the false positive, and this one will be false negative. That's it. This is the simplest way. But if you want also to understand, as we get the positive and the present will be positive, then this is positive but absent, so it is not a real. So by mistake I wrote this one in. It should be me, okay? Because this line is positive. All this line is positive. Either true or false, it should be positive, okay? So this will be false positive. Here to understand it, it is positive because it is on the line of the positive, it is positive, but at the same time, the sample shows it is absent. There is no cocaine in the sample which you have taken, so it is false positive. As I told you, the simplest way, just identify the true positive and the true negative, and the full line of the positive will have N, or the full line of the positive will have P, and full line of negative will have N, so it will be simple to do this. If you want, I can repeat it again, or you can display back this part and take it again, okay? So identify which cell in the table correspond to the true positive and which part correspond to true negative, false positive and false negative, okay? Okay, I repeat it again, no problem. Okay, so here this is true positive and the present, so every case here is positive, okay? So this true positive, and here negative and absent, so true negative. This line is negative, so everything here should be negative. Everything in this line should be negative. So this one will be negative, and everything here will be positive. This one will be positive. I have already taken true positive. I cannot have two true positives. One true, one other one will be false. Here true I have taken, so this one will be false. That's it, okay? Then the second question is, calculate the sensitivity. We said something sensitive, which means dangerous, means it is related to the positive part, okay? So sensitivity, specificity, since sensitivity is the positive, so specificity is the other way around, the opposite, it will be for the negative. Positive predictive value, which is PPV, okay? Which we said that the portion of the positive, the true positive divided to the overall positive. The negative, the same thing, the negative, also the negative predictive NBV of the diagnostic procedure. All this we have we have already reviewed and studied in detail in part 2 of seminar 9 of part 2. The video is available. If you don't remember them or want to refresh your memory, you can recheck the video again. So, in order to calculate the first one, which is sensitivity, we said sensitivity related to positive. So, it will be true positive, because when we talk about positive, we mainly means the true positive. Okay, we have something which is called false positive, but when we talk about the positive in general, because the other one, the false positive is a small part. Okay, so we are talking about the true positive. So sensitivity is the true positive, but the problem here, it is divided what? True positive is a combination of positive, okay, and the present, okay. So for the case of sensitivity, we need everything, whether it's positive, so the true positive, and covered under the whole present, because this is the sample. Our sample shows the presence of cocaine. So everything under the graph, which called the present. Okay, in order to make it simpler, let us go to these. Okay, if you look at this graph, this is the true positive graph. This is actually not the true positive. This is the sampling graph. Okay, so this is the presence graph. Okay, the presence graph has two parts. One of them is true positive, so I'm taking this part, true positive, divided the total area under the graph. The total area under the graph is the presence. Okay, so it will be true positive plus Fn, false negative. So if we come here, it will be the true positive is two things. Is the intersection of true positive. The true positive is the intersection of positive and the present at the same time. So we take the value from here for the true positive and the overall value of the other character, which is present. Okay, so the total value of the present. Someone will say it is difficult. Okay, I'll make it simpler to you. As I told you earlier, so it is the true positive equals the true positive divided true positive again plus the reverse of this. And instead of t, what is t means true, we'll put false. If p means positive, we'll put n. So we'll swap, we'll put the reverse or the opposite to these symbols. So t will put f, p will put n. And instead of true, we'll put false, and positive, we will put negative. Okay? So the way how to memorize it. So how to get TP plus Fn? TP here, this TP, and this is Fn. The sum of them is the total. So we can take the total of the present directly. Okay? So sensitivity is the positive divided the total of the other characters. So here positive, sensitivity means the true positive. Okay? Sensitivity means the true positive, true positive. The word sensitivity itself, it has to trigger in our mind the true positive. So equals to the true positive divided, not the positive, the other character, which is present, the total of this curve. So it will be equaling 150 over 416. Okay? So if we are talking about specificity, it will be the true negative. What is the true negative? This is the true negative. 785 divided what? Divide the absence. Okay, because true negative is the intersection of negative and the absence. So the true negative we have already taken, the true negative. And what about the absence? This is the total of the absence will be taken here. Okay, total of the absence will be 793. So also for the specificity. So here this is for sensitivity. Here is specificity. Specificity, we talked before, the specificity talks about negative. So it is true negative. Divided what? Divided true negative again plus the opposite. Opposite of true, false. Opposite of negative, positive. That's it. So if we look at the table here, Tn plus Fp, Tn plus Fp, it will be equaling the total of the absence. So we have many ways to remember them. So here sensitivity, the true positive divided the sample where the cocaine present, okay? Present, okay? The total positive divided the present. Specificity true negative divided the absence of the cocaine. Okay, so coming to the PPV, the positive predictive value. The positive predictive value and the negative predictive value are similar than sensitivity in order to memorize them. Okay, so positive predictive value, PPV, positive predictive value, PPV, equal true positive divided the total of the positive. Everything related to positive, nothing else. Everything numerator and the denominator, both of them relate to positive, but the top always true positive divided the total positive. So what is here the true positive? This is the true positive, which is 150. Okay, so it will be equaling 150 divided total of the positive. This is the total of the present. Total of the positive will be this one. Okay, so it will be 158. Okay, the same thing also here for the negative predictive value. Negative predictive, true negative divided the total of the negative. What is the total of the negative? These are the negative, so the total of the negative will be 1051. Okay, so it will be true negative divided the total, which is 1051. Okay, it will be equal true negative, which is 785 divided 1051. This one should be, actually we should write it here. This should be a formula, a notation, should not be numbers. So it will be true negative, total negative. Okay, so by calculating this true positive and true negative, so now we know how to calculate the sensitivity. Specificity, sensitivity means positive, something sensitive. It will be positive, it will be dangerous, the disease will appear, so sensitive. Specificity is related to negative, so sensitivity, true positive, divided the other character, the total of the other character, which is the presence or absence. Okay, in this case, specificity, it will be the true negative divided the absence. Okay, so true positive means the true and the positive. Okay, so positive from here and the true means the present. So I take the total of here of true positive. Since I used positive ones, I use the present, the other one, the total of it. Okay, but for the case of the positive predictive value, everything will be positive. The true positive divided the total of the positive. The negative, the true negative divided the total of the negative. I hope this example is clear. Example number 4, here they have given solution A, solution B, and I see the solution A and B, it's a little complicated, so it's not so easy to understand. So we'll go to solution B, solution C, which is in line with the same methodology which we have used, and which can be applied to every and each question. Okay, so it's more and most simple and clear than this one, this way, and I'm going to explain to you with some further details. What they have given this problem, they said the relative frequency of a disease in a population. So this is the frequency, relative frequency of disease in a population. So the percentage between the disease and the population. So this is the percentage of the people has the disease. The people have the disease. Okay? So the percentage of the people having the disease in the population. So 30% is the disease positive. The people who has the disease in this population. The people who doesn't have this disease, it will be the complementary. So the negative will be 70%. Okay, so this is the benefit of having the first one. The relative frequency of disease in a population. So disease divide the overall population equals 30%, 0.3. So the people who doesn't have the disease to the overall, it is minus the negative, which is 1 minus 0.3. Okay? Okay. So this is the first point. So if I draw a table here, and in this table I saw that, okay, this is the test, positive, and the negative. And here for the disease I said, okay, disease positive and disease negative. Okay, so this is positive test and this is disease. This is the disease, positive and negative. Okay, and this is the test. So by having this, 30% has the disease. The population, the frequency, relative frequency. So the relative means divided the overall. Okay, so or divided the something which he's talking about here. So he's talking about here relative something divided something. Here disease to the population. So the percentage of disease to the population is 30%. So the people who are having the disease are 30%, 0.3. So the people who don't have the overall, all this number of people, okay, the people who doesn't have would be 0.7, the complementary. So this is the first thing which I have got. Then he gave me the specificity and sensitivity of a diagnostic test for detecting the disease. Okay, for detecting the disease is 60 and 80. So which respectively in order. So specificity came first, so specificity is 80%. Sensitivity came second, so sensitivity is 60%. So sensitivity equals 60%. Specificity equals 80%. Okay, so what does sensitivity mean? We said that sensitivity means something sensitive, critical, positive. So this is the total positive divided, I say for sensitivity it is not divided this true positive is not divided the total positive. True positive divided the other parameter which is present, disease is present or not present. Okay, so if true and true and positive خلاص, we know that the positive is the positive from here. True means that it happened, the disease is there. Okay, so true, disease is there. So if I already considered true positive, so positive with me, the second one will be true. True means I have the disease. Okay, so it will be true positive divided the total of the disease. What is the total of the disease having the disease? It is 0.3, the total of having the disease, 0.3, okay? So divided 0.3 equals, sensitivity was 60%, 0.6. This is the sensitivity again, sensitivity. Okay, so this means that by cross multiplication, here TP will be equaling 0.3 times 0.6 equals 0.80. I can put it here. First one positive and the disease is there, so true positive is here. True positive is here, so it will be 0.80. Okay, and here this is the true negative and no disease. I can get it from the specificity in the same way. So specificity will be the true negative, okay, because this is specificity, not sensitive. Specificity true negative divided, so it is true negative. A negative is already considered. What about the true negative? True negative means that it is negative and I don't have the disease also. It's because it is true negative. True means it is negative and I don't have the disease. So negative, okay, and I don't have the disease, okay. So this will be the true negative, okay. Divided, I already talking about the negative, so I have to, the numerator will be the true. What is the true? The true that disease is not there, okay. So here, if I have taken already negative, so the denominator will be the sum of the other character, which is the sum of the d, which will be this one, okay. So again, to make it clear, specificity, it will be the true negative, okay. And now I already talk about the negative, so the denominator will be not the negative, the other one, which is the disease negative, because this is negative. I cannot take the disease positive. In the case of positive, it will be positive and the total of the positive disease, okay? But in this is for sensitivity. For specificity, it will be the true negative divided, not the negative divided the other one, not the negative divided the disease, so the total of the disease. Disease 0.7, so equals, specificity was 0.8, okay. So true negative by having cross multiplication will be equal 0.7 times 0.8, sorry, 0.8 equals 0.56. So now I got the true negative. True negative is here, 0.56. So I got the true positive and I got the true negative. So by having the total of the disease, which is 0.3, the total of not availability of the disease or non-existence of the disease, okay, not diseased, and by having true positive and the true negative, this is true positive and this is true negative, I can get the other missing values. So here 0.18 plus what equals 0.3, so equals 0.12. Here 0.7 plus what equals to 0.57 plus what equals 0.7, so 0.14. So I can get the total positive, which will be 0.18 plus 0.14 equals 0.32. Here will be equals to 0.12 plus 0.56 equals 0.68, I think so. So by having this data, I can get any value he wants. So what is the question? He said that what is the positive predictive value? We said the PPV, positive predicted value, equals to the total, the true positive, okay, divided. This is talking about positive only, so it will be the true positive divided the total positive, not the other one. In the case of sensitivity, we take the positive divided the total of the other character, okay, which is disease, or the negative divided the total character. But in the case of PPV or NPV, okay, we are using the true positive divided the total positive, or the true negative divided the total negative, okay, in order to arrive to the positive predictive value or negative predictive. So here positive predictive value, total true positive divided the total positive, total positive. So let us erase this one. So total positive from the table, total positive here equals 0.18, and total, so this true positive 0.18, and total positive is the sum of the positive, total of the positive, which is here, okay, which is this value, 0.32. So PPV will be equaling 0.5625. Okay, so this is my positive predictive value. I hope it's clear and simple. This is actually the simplest way to solve it, in my opinion.